I get it. Yeah, man. Well, I'm looking around for Made in America hardware, because I misspoke. I do have Chinese parts in my final. The machine screws that I used. So I'm going to take them out and put in new old stock American screws.
Dang. That's getting pretty hardcore with it. I think my level's starting to come up. I was trying to listen to you, but I couldn't hear you over me. I was going like, yeah, 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 stuff like that into the mic.
Yeah, I do that all the time while I'm setting my dumb processor. Hello. Yeah, the limiting isn't where it should be. Oh well.
I think I'm going to switch antennas real quick. Hold on, give me 1 second. W2BTK.
W2VW.
Alpha Juliet 1 Golf.
Hello, Chris.
How you doing? No, I probably haven't heard this radio. I don't know if I worked here. This is a DX100 with a new and, well, actually very old but improved audio chain relative to the stock DX100.
Yeah, it sounds good. It's got real nice articulation in the highs, and it sounds human.
Yeah, I've had too many bandits at 2 o'clock audios for my life. I guess I got jaded. But now this is a 1940 RCA broadcast studio monitor amplifier type 82 Charlie, 4 6J7s and 2 6L6s. Got glass ones in there right now. And it's a Timmy recommendation. I'm bridging the 500 ohm output of this thing across the grids of the 1625s and into the DX100, and just going across the walnut-sized grid transformer in there for DC return for the bias and also for the phase shift. But also took out the coupling cap, or not the coupling cap, the shunt cap across the secondary of the mod transformer, and the 1K resistors in between the little walnut-sized and now the bridged audio coming in between that and the actual grids of the plug, the fan-damping resistors to limit the output, because they're capable of much more than you really need. That's the way the manual describes it. So I got to get the feel and find a good mic. This is my 500 alpha Audio Technica going through a Behringer 8-channel mixer, a 3-band EQ, and I got it about as good as I can get it. Sounds fantastic when you feed audio in from a phone or something, like off of YouTube. I just spent a couple hours listening to Gene Shepard into a dummy load, and it sounded just like it should. AJ1G.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, Chris. Well, it sounds good, and that's interesting. Interesting way that you hooked it up. It's been a long time since I heard anybody say they're driving the whole DX100 modulator with something like, something as large as what you're doing it with. Well, I'm sure probably a dozen people are going to tell you their way to do it when you talk with them.
People do.
Yeah, they do. But it's working, and it sounds great. And yeah, no bandits at any o'clock right now. So yeah, congratulations on getting that going. Yep, DX100 was the first ham transmitter I ever saw. There was a guy throwing one out in the trash. It was on the side of the road, and a friend of mine picked it up, took it home on the handlebars of his bicycle, if you can believe that. They don't make bikes like they used to. How are you hearing Chris, Billy?
I'm hearing him just fine over here. I'm on the other antenna now.
Oh yeah, antenna B works nice.
Key down and freaking didn't have the microphone plugged in. W4IPC.
Hey, Connor.
Hi, Billy. Hi.
Hi Connor, are you hearing Chris over there? He's trying out his new Dixie 100 lash up.
Well, if he's transmitting, then no.
Yeah, here it is, Connor. How are you? And I think you're up in Maine, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Chris down here in Stonington, Connecticut, on the Connecticut shore. Beautiful fall day. Been working out in the garage. Lisa working out in the yard. May go fishing here in a little bit down at the beach. AJ1G.
Yeah, I hear you pretty good. You're about S9 plus 5 here in New York. There's a little bit of weird little on like 7 or 3871. That's kind of annoying, but you're about S9 plus 5 here in New York, and your radio is sounding nice. The VIFO is relatively stable.
Yeah, okay, very good. Well, thank you. Yeah, this speech app is headed for bigger and better things, and actually something I've had since probably the late 80s, and it came along with a stash of other parts of what once was most likely an RCA ET4336 export transmitter from 1940. It was built for the Dutch Navy for submarine use, from what I can tell from the manual that I have. And it was a very common, I guess RCA it's in their RCA broadcast equipment catalogs from the 40s into early 50s. As a 250 watt transmitter that works on 250 watt output AM and 350 CW, a pair of 813s modulated by 805s. I've got the complete, this 83C was actually called a MI7179A in the application it was intended for, but it was basically a RCA broadcast studio amp, and in which they said it was a kind of a Swiss Army knife amplifier. You could use it as an emergency program amplifier, or in-house studios, house speakers, or talk back to the production guys. That's the way it was advertised in the catalog. Puts out about 12 watts. It's got negative feedback in it, and it sounds really good just driving speakers. And eventually, I've got all the iron for that RCA ET4336. I don't have the transformer. I just have pieces. I got the plate transformer, which weighs about 100 pounds. The mod transformer is about 75 pounds. It's all broadcast quality stuff we used in it. And in fact, the BBC used them. They had a ton of them that were sent over to England on Lend-Lease, and after the war, BBC set up like regional broadcasting stations out in the shires, to extend their coverage on AM, and they actually took a pair of them and made a 500. They paralleled them and phased them together and ran them in parallel to make 500 watt transmitters, and they were all over the place. A lot of them made their way into pirate station use eventually, and there were some up into the 90s there was one station, Sunshine Radio, it's still on. They use Continentals now, I think. They used a pair of these up into about the mid-90s, and they had a gazillion hours on them when they finally were retired, between BBC, pirate, and then legit non-BBC broadcast use. And they're now being used by a ham over there. I read that article in BBC Engineering News or something online. Interesting set. And I got an RF deck from Timmy. I did a trade for him 2 years ago, this weekend actually, at Nearfest. A pair of 813s and big B&W 2kW Pinet with the roller inductor, and vacuum varial, plate and loading, and the whole 9 yards. And that's the big fall-winter project here. Once the weather turns colder, to get that up and running. And this, of course, will be the speech amp driving the 803s. I have the 805s. I got the complete modulator. It's the sub chassis with the input transformer, the thickly drives, and then of course the mod transformer. There's no reactor. It's strictly a transformer. So over to Billy, W2BTK AJ1G.
Well, wow, I'm not quite sure how to follow that. What? W2BTK.
Billy, you're humming a little more than normal there. Good to hear you on the air. Shh, 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 shh. How am I sounding? I should be sounding pretty decent here. That sounds very fine business there. And the band's really up and down. Chris, you were like anywhere from S9 to about 12 over S9. Perfect copy. But yeah, we're not running any fancy stuff. We're running I guess it's a rice box. It's a Made in America rice box, W4IPC. What?
W2 very weak.
It's the
noise
Caterpillar drive.
The noise tonight is very nice. It's only about S3.
What do you hear on 3871, Connor? Is there some European stuff coming in there?
I don't know what it is. It sounds like atmospheric something. It's
What, 2RE antenna?
yeah. Actually, Dave, tonight I might actually get on the big station in Maine. He just put back the 5-element Yagi for 80 meters, so I might hop on that tonight to test it. You might hear me on that.
Who are you going to talk to on there? Just going to work dog X-ray, or are you going to find somebody to chat with, or what are you going to do?
I think it would be fun to try and talk on AM, DX AM on 80.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. That would be even more fun on 40 on 7160 if it weren't a fake DX net area. I'm not happy about that. Stupid. I think 100 of us should show up there on AM all at one time.
I hate DX nets. You know I'm a DX chaser, all that fun stuff. I kind of consider them cheating. You surf the DX kind of thing. I don't know. And then nets. I hate nets in general. They just think they own the frequency. They just fire on up, don't they?
Yeah, I guess people missing certain portions of their cranium inside need nets to survive. I think that's what it is. Maybe if they were dropped as babies or something.
Yeah. The only nets I like are fish nets.
Come here.
What?
Man, now they're tuning up on us. You hear that? They're kind of weak. Billy!
1 LQA.
What's been going on? I haven't heard you in like a month.
Not a lot. I've just been working a ton, you know? I see that hum. Yeah, it's there. That's okay. Gives a little bit of character. I haven't retuned anything in a very, very long time. But I don't think any of that crap would change. Like, there's no reason to. I could go in the other room and dip the exciter. See if that does anything. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. Everyone else is tuning up. Why don't I tune up a little bit?
Wait till somebody else is transmitting to tune up. You don't want to waste a good tune up on dead air.
W1LQA.
It's interesting, Billy, at least on my receiver, and on my receiver, the hum is worse on the upper side band. I heard a station W1LQA. Pick it up.
Hey, what's up, guys? You know, fine business and QSLs and all that jazz. So, how's it going, everybody? W1LQA.
Good to hear you on. It's going well. You're doing well down here, too.
You're doing well up here in New York. You're about S9 plus 10. W4 IPC, by the way.
Hello.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks for the signal reports. Yeah, you guys are good up here. Everybody's 20 over. And then some. Billy's the strongest. Billy's like 117 over. That's nice. Doing good, Billy.
117 over S9? Man, that's approaching like 100 likes over Z9, as Phil says.
Billy is, here he is exactly overloading the receiver. 60 over. That's as high as the flex meter goes. And there's sidebanders on 3870, yay. But I don't know. I don't know what I would do if Billy was weak. I don't know, probably go in a corner and cry.
Maybe there's something wrong with my equipment over here. It shouldn't... I don't know. Maybe something changed. Let me go see.
Yeah, well, if guys fired up on 3870 slot bucket, they must really enjoy listening to our sideband, so I don't really want to disappoint them. I don't think it would be right. W2VW.
Is that the name of the
Dave,
net?
I actually
Is that
just
the slot
saw
bucket
the,
net down there?
They just decided to fire up on 3872. I just saw them right before you keyed up. That's interesting. Hey, if they enjoy listening to it.
Yeah, I guess they like listening to AM, which is fine. That's what's here. That's what's going to be here. That's the way it works. Yep. Oh, checking my parameters here. Yeah, I think this thing might hold together. Maybe we get another 63 years out of it.
Things sounded good. Doing just fine. This hasn't even started drifting yet.
Oh yeah, it did. I turned it on 4 hours ago. That's why. It's stable. I got the Variac turned up to 90%.
Oh, dang. Yep. Well, probably, I know someone who's doing about the same thing.
I'm not doing that much. Let's see, we're doing 160 watts of carrier. We're just cruising. But Dave, you always sound good. You sound great tonight. I don't think I've ever heard Dave not sound good. Honestly, Dave always sounds like he's coming out of a AM transmitter there, broadcast quality. Maybe not broadcast these days, because if I'm honest, if you go to the broadcast band, they all kind of sound like crap these days.
Yeah, broadcast quality used to mean something. Now it's like, yeah, they got IBOC, traffic lights, noises, and the rating stuff. The ratings encoders are ridiculous. They put this ringing goofball sound on there. I wouldn't want to sound like an AM broadcast station, but thanks anyway. I know what you meant. And for anybody that might not know, we're just running break-in here. Not turning it to anybody, just break-in. So what you do is transmit, and you can check to make sure you're not doubling. But you don't have to say, let me see if I'm doubling. You just... And that's done, just like that. That's how they do it in the big city. And if your transmitter can't do this, shame on you, because mine is is like 2/3 of the way to being 100 years old, and I can do that.
We run QSK on this frequency.
And I'm running, you'll like this, Billy, the thing that I'm working on, it has no discontinuities on this band. I'm going through it. Obviously, it's in standby, and I had to use, I use a Jennings relay in the output, but in the input I use one of those DB products jobs. And I used RG393, and it's all done with connectors through the chassis. And the only places it's spliced and soldered are right at the vacuum relay, which obviously there's no other way to do it. And I took some copper strip, and all the grounds are connected near the vacuum relay, and there's just no discontinuity in it. So the amp is, at least at this frequency, we'll see what it does higher, but it's invisible. It's invisible when it's in standby, and that ain't half bad until the RG393 melts.
That stuff doesn't melt that easily, but then again, that's if everything is doing what it should be doing.
W2 very weak.
W2BTK on Montana Mountain.
AJ1G, Stonington, Connecticut.
Whiskey 4, India Papa Charlie in my shack.
W1LQA, Waterbury, Connecticut.
A fine group.
Yeah, Connor, you gotta find Jacques K1JJ and send him an email and tell him you want to get on in the DX window.
K1JJ.
KD2PII.
Hey, PII, what's going on, man? Hear you in there, good signal tonight. See, the whole reason I've got reverb sometimes is because of JJ. He was all obsessed with the reverb tail for a while, so I was like, oh man, it's a good idea. But I'm not going to run that right now.
How you doing, Billy? I'm just playing around on my 7300 25-watt carrier.
You're coming in just fine. Low noise and everything. You're being heard well here. Say, everyone else is probably hearing you too. Pretty impressed with that setup. Little 25-watt 7300. Always makes a pretty good signal.
That's 25 watts?
A struggle shack on the Discord. It's basically just a little $50 shelf that I got from Amazon with the radio, the tuner, and the power supply on it. Hey, did you play Among Us yet?
Did I what yet? I'm sorry, I was typing.
Did you play Among Us, that game that is taking Twitch by storm?
Oh yeah, I did play that game a little bit. It's cool. I just play online with like other people. It's just typing chats or whatever. It's fun. I definitely got kind of involved in that, but I'd like to play that with like some people I know, you know.
Oh yeah, it's way more fun when you're playing with people that you know in Discord and they all follow the rules and stay quiet when they're supposed to. You could probably get some of your subscribers or your viewers to join a game with you in Discord.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
A lot of streamers do like sub games, stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna step back to the phone here and watch your stream for a little bit, and then maybe get something to eat. KD2PII.
25 watts sounds great.
Yeah, that's working okay.
But can you do this?
It's a 7300. Of course you can.
Yeah, I think he could do that better than the rest of us.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I thought about maybe doing some video game stuff on the stream, like after, the radio goes dead or whatever, hopping on a game or something. But I haven't messed around with that yet. It'd be pretty easy to do. I'm definitely set up to do it. The computer's not going to care. That would be fun. Yeah, some night I should see, or we should schedule something. That'd actually be pretty cool. Dave, I bet you would be good at that game. But you probably never even heard of it.
I stopped.
Should do that. I gain quite a bit as well. I would be happy to join in some shenanigans.
I stopped playing video games when I found out that you get better when you cheat at Super Mario. I was disgusted by that, and I quit it cold.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I didn't play video games for years. I just recently kind of started playing a couple of games. It's fun, I don't sit down and play for hours. It just every once in a while, But that Among Us game is fun. It's like I don't know. It's not a typical game.
I'm not doing anything that an 11-year-old can beat me at. Forget it.
The only time I really play games is when I have friends around, like on Discord. I've got a Discord of young hams. There's about 15 of us in there, our teams, and we, every now and then, about once a week, we'll get in a voice call and we'll play some game all together. But other than that, I don't really do much of that. That game is called F8, CW, and SSB.
Connor, it says you're currently watching 3830scores.com. What's that?
Oh. So that website is where you report after you do a contest. And you submit your score and like how many contacts per band you got, how many multipliers you got on each band, and what your final score was, and then you can put down a little comment at the bottom, the bands were crap, my antennas did good, blah, 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 brag, brag, brag. And it's basically just a score reporting website. Once you do your contest, you throw your contacts up there, or you throw your summary up there, you made this many contacts on this band and all that, such and such. And so I have that watching it because I did the DX contest. CQ Worldwide RTTY. You want to talk about an old man mode, RTTY. And I came in, at least it looks like I came in second place, United States, multi-operator, single transmitter, low power. So I'm keeping my eyes on that website. Over.
You need a Model 19. You know what that is?
Nope.
It's amazing. You could be second in the world at a RIDI contest and not know what a Model 19 is. That's amazing.
Hey, I use a computer. And a freaking SDR radio.
Yeah, just Google Model 19 RTTY.
Is it a freaking one of those, Oh, is it that thing with the big keyboard and the... I know I got something downstairs that does RIDI. It's got a big old mechanical keyboard. Is it one of them things?
Hey, up.
Yeah. I got two of those downstairs actually in the garage. I thought about turning the keyboards in the really cool mechanical keyboards. I thought of turning them into computer keyboards, but you know how that goes.
That'd be fun. They have action on them like a good piano, you actually feel something as you're typing on the other end.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my explanation, Billy. I've been watching that website to see if anybody submits a score that's higher than mine. And unfortunately, some W1... Oh, heck, what was his call sign? Now it's going to bother me. Let me go. 3830scores.com. Summaries of recent contests. CQ Worldwide DX RIDI. Multi-single low power. Let's see. Whiskey 1 something. Oh, boy. Where is it?
Where is it? Whiskey 1 Quebec Kilo. Whiskey 1 Quebec Kilo. He beat me by about 100,000 points. Oh well.
Connor, you gotta do like more cheating kind of stuff. Like you gotta really get like nasty with this if you want to get to the top and stay there. Cause like all those dudes cheat. You just gotta figure out a better way to cheat.
Got to put bananas after you make a contact. You go doink doink, and the bananas go out, and the next guy drives off the road.
Well, I know some of these people cheat. I've seen some of their signals when they're saying they're running low power, and you know, there's some characteristics of an amplifier in that signal, if you know what I mean. But I played by the books. The bands were horrible, and because the bands were horrible, I kept going QRT, and I'd go take a nap and something. And looking back, that was a bad idea, because I probably would have beat him if I would have taken breaks.
Pizza's here. Be right back.
But we'll be on the big station with the big towers in Maine, so we'll probably come out we will most likely come out number 1 in the United States for the CW and SSB stints of that contest, which the sideband one is at the end of the month, or is that the CW one? One of them's at the end of the month.
And you'll find out just how much of it is station and how much of it is operating. But yeah, W2VW. People definitely they cheat in DXing and contesting and all that stuff. It's not like it used to be. You've got SDRs all over the world. There's people, you can hear it. You go on this band, you go in the window and you hear people making contacts. You know that they cannot hear. I don't care what they're using. They're not going to hear certain people, but yet they hear them. Yep. It's not like it used to be. But if you want to make somebody's head explode, that's a tried and true DXer that gets on the internet and says that FT8 isn't real ham radio. I came up with a line that would make their head explode, but I haven't used it yet.
Oh boy.
Anybody want to hear it?
Yeah. Well, I'll eat my spicy burger.
I see that. So I copy your spicy burger. Well, my thing is, you could say to these guys that have worked 334 countries, except for North Korea, that if band conditions were like they are today, back when they were working their DX, they wouldn't have worked any of it. And they would have done better with FT8.
This is true. This is true. You hear, oh my god, I just opened up Twitch and I am getting my ears destroyed. There we go. All the OMs that complain about the bands being bad, and shoot, I see that SFI shoot above 73, and I'm like, holy crap, the bands are on fire.
What? I got ketchup on my keyboard, man.
People will get out of your way when you're on fire. Anybody watch SNL last night?
No. Who's the portable station? Can you hear him, Dave?
Try it again there a couple times, please.
I hear him fine. Yeah, go ahead, station. Well, you don't hear me.
Dave, I haven't watched Saturday Night Live, live in a really long time.
Yeah, I know, to stay up late and watch it. It's a thing for old people like me.
Food.
Loan the code. I had to walk uphill both ways to the FCC office to take my code test off the tapes. Back in my day, we knew code. Oh God, I loved that video.
Just shut up!
Yeah, he's like, I just got my tech and I checked into the 2-meter net and I think FT8 is cool. No, shut up! Just shut up! Shut your mouth!
You like them V's?
I've actually been doing FT8 on 2 meters lately. I've actually made some contacts up into New Hampshire on 2 meters, believe it or not. 144, let's see, what is it, 144, 174, something like that.
Yeah, that's, I mean, even you know, somewhat well-equipped 2-meter SSB station, you're going to get, you know, 400 or 500 mile range, probably, what, 70% of the time. I used to listen to the guys on 144, where were they, 205 or something, well, whatever. They had a net every day. The same guys would get on, talk to each other for a half hour. And I had an antenna up at 1,100 feet in Manhattan, and I used to be able to hear those guys just great. It was kind of fun, but I only had northeast. I didn't have any other direction with that particular antenna. It was shaded. But the thing about it is they ran this ear-splitting audio. Is like, you could talk to these guys, they could talk to each other for 20 years, and if you met them at a ham fest, you'd keep walking if you heard them talk.
Yeah. That carrier on 3870 is kind of annoying. Anyway. I don't know, you probably wouldn't recognize me. Who knows? Who knows?
I've seen your picture. You've been on the front cover of magazines and stuff. You're famous. If I saw you, I'd ask for an autograph.
It wouldn't be worth much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I have another article coming out, actually. National Contest Journal. Remote contesting. I'm sure that'll get the old gatekeeper contesters angry. It usually does when I mention remotes and contesting. It comes out, I think, the end of the month.
That reminds me, Billy, haven't heard anything from our favorite gatekeeper lately. He's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, well, not that I would know, you know, because I can't hear him on the air, and that's the only, like, open avenue to communicate, because I'm banned and blocked from everything else.
I'm thinking maybe he found somebody else to bother.
Is that a bad thing?
That would be cool. I mean, you know, as long as he's having fun, you know, the best way he knows how in his hobby, then that's great. I'm happy for him.
I just hope no small animals are being tortured or anything like that. I would feel bad if I found that out. Or even medium-sized animals.
Yeah, I have no tolerance for that. I have to do something, but you know, I guess there is that element of concern. What has he moved on to? If it's small animals, then I got to figure out a way to get them back, so that they don't have to be abused, I guess. You know, but maybe he moved on to something healthy.
Small children.
Yeah, you know, I didn't consider that. I guess there's a possibility that he's doing something positive. Yeah, imagine that. Gee, Billy.
You know, I think his buddy posted up in his forum, QRZ or whatever, that he's out. He's not doing this stuff anymore. So who knows? Maybe he'll do the same thing.
You know, that guy, it's not the first time he got involved with a large group and got really involved and things went west.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
Got one of them cool meters.
A Boyd meter?
I got one of those cool meters. You run your push-to-talk through it. It looks at your forward power. Looks at your SWR.
W2 very weak.
Past thresholds. If it goes past thresholds, it doesn't let you key. Oh man, it's cool. W4 IPC. I heard that, Dave.
W2.
You can hear spinning.
W2 BTK. Wait, is it like mine?
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool. Now you just need a matching amplifier.
Hey. I hear someone just built one. Wink, wink.
Well, it's so close.
Yep. Bad SOB.
Just imagine the dynamic headroom using this for an exciter, Billy.
Yeah. You could. That's pretty good. The 3-diode terrorizer circuit.
That reminds me, I've got to turn this thing down, like way down, and get a QC from you sometime. I want to see if it does anything funky at that power level. I've had it down to about 125 watts out, but I think that's the lowest I've run it.
Well, it shouldn't, but yeah, we could do that sometime.
It's almost the power I run normally.
Let me try that. I'm going to try that.
Hey Billy, did my stuff go through?
Yay. All right. Let's see. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. There you go, Billy. How's that?
It's not that much different. Talk a little bit more.
W2VW. Yeah, I'm looking at the waveform here, and kind of hard to judge the positive peaks. Yeah, we're getting some better positive peaks than I had before. Yeah, this is, oh yeah, this is 200 mils of cathode current right here.
Dude, it sounds fine like that. That's really funny. That's gonna be, hello!
I mean, this is literally, I'm running this thing at, it's about 210 mils. So I'm literally running it at Viking 2 output power.
Sounds really good.
Think it sounds better than it did at full power?
Huh?
No, I wouldn't say that. It's you've got like a little bit of like artifacts and stuff, you know, like it's not pumping, but you can hear something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I don't, you know, this is like way over, and I heard what you said too, Connor, because you guys are on exactly the same frequency. So you're hearing some funk, huh?
A little bit, but dude, it's not objectionable. You turn that into a huge signal, it's gonna be like, ah!
Yeah, well, this is, even this is too much. I'm gonna turn it down some more.
Sound like me.
What?
Yay. Alright, I know this isn't right. I can see, hello, 555. I can see this on the scope. I can't get 100% negative out of it. Let me give you a little bit. I mean, it's trying to do like way too much positive modulation, and it's not getting anywhere near the baseline. Let me see. Yeah, I can't get. Wow, this is stupid.
You went the wrong way.
I went the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
This is about 50 watts out.
There's almost no signal difference.
Just imagine a Johnson 500 making 50 watts out.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I can't take this crap. Let me put it back.
It doesn't sound bad.
That was a really good burger, man. That place, they know what they're doing.
What was on it?
It had, you know, like lettuce, some kind of nice, like, kind of semi-spicy sauce, jalapenos, and, you know, a little this and a little that. But it's the spicy burger.
Yeah. I like a good spicy burger. I'm with you there, Billy. And Dave, yeah, it doesn't sound bad. It just...
Guess what, Dave? Coronavirus!
Yeah, I didn't like it. Tell you what I didn't like about it was the fact that it won't make 100% negative. So we're back here. Got to get the levels right. Get a job.
That's great soundbite. Get a job.
Dude, I got to warm up first.
Louis sending me pictures of his new place, and he's got a lot of room for some crazy antenna action up there. Oh, nice.
It's good to see people going places with their station and equipment, you know. It's exciting because I don't have to climb a tower or move anything heavy. I can just watch on the internet.
Why do you think I like looking at W2RE? He posted a live stream today. He was streaming from 180 feet on top of a tower. You know, I watch it because I'd never do it.
Yeah, just think, Connor, by, you know, the end of your lifetime, you might be like a brain in a jar. You'll be like 115 years old, and you'll still be able to operate the same way as you're doing now.
Oh, God. Brain in a jar. That's how we'll have to keep Billy.
You used to have a body to get on the air.
Oh, my God. Oh, Connor's too young to have seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. There was a Krang. He was like a brain from Dimension X. That totally reminded me of Krang. I need a body!
I'm not that young.
You remember Krang in that episode where he's like, I need a body! Get me a body!
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that's what it's gonna be.
Is it just me? There's someone on 3870 on AM. They have a good carrier, but they have no modulation. They're so annoying.
There's somebody tuning up there since before we got on the air. Unidentified tuner-upper.
Maybe you should join.
Yeah, get zero, beat that.
I'm bummed out I can't use my Johnson 500 as an exciter.
Why not? Just, you know, run it into some high SWR.
I'm going to have to use Exciter B, Billy, and I don't like that. I like to have redundancy here.
Oh, very good. Exciter B.
What's Exciter B?
Oh, you want to hear Exciter B, huh?
Well, if we're gonna do it, we might as well hear it.
Nah, stay on the tubes.
Yeah, but Billy, you haven't heard Exciter B done the right way yet.
Oh, all right. Well, let's hear it.
It's going to take me a minute.
Uh-oh. All right.
Dave's got to go out to the pole pig and run some new wires from the pole pig before he can operate the radio.
Yeah. It's kind of like... my station's similar, but I'm not quite at that level.
Wait a minute. What the hell's going on here? Yay, yay. Yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay. Alright, here's Exciter B. But the tone is way off. Everything's way off.
Not too bad.
Yeah, Billy, this is gonna be it. You know what it is? It's the screen voltage. Let me get this right. Alright, okay. Yeah, give me like 3 minutes and I'll have a signal again.
Right, your variac input voltage.
Well, did you look at that 30S1, Connor?
Yeah.
Well, I'm warming mine up right now, and you'll hear mine. Watts from my rice burner.
What radio is that?
FT1000D with a bunch of modifications. W2 very weak.
Hey, I used to have one of them.
Say again?
I said, hey, I used to have one of them. Sounded nothing like that.
You're right. It does not sound anything like this in factory form.
I got it. That's the radio I first got on the AM window with.
And it was all downhill from there, right?
You guys should zero beast that carrier.
Well, if you want me to. This is pretty simple.
You guys really want to go on 70?
No, not on 70. The one that's like just like a little bit below us. Can you hear that?
Where, this one here?
No, you're too low. It's right. I'm zero beat on it.
I don't hear it. But I'll zero beat it for you.
That's way better.
Alright, how's this?
Oh yeah, that's the ticket.
The zero beat school.
Now I don't have to listen to boop while everybody's talking.
Yeah. Hey Billy, can I get away with just hitting the low cut with this?
It sounds good.
Guess
It's like
what,
a little. It doesn't jump out at you like it does when it doesn't have its sparkle.
It doesn't have sparkle? Okay, here's the low cut now. I got the low cut on. Is that okay?
It sounds fine. It sounds better than a lot of people that come out here and talk.
Sound better than me.
It's all about content.
Good content too.
Yay. Okay, there you go.
Ah, that was a signal difference.
Yeah, this is the 30S1. Still got some hum. I got all kinds of things. I can flip my phase switch here. Let's see. Hello. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's the wrong polarity, and that's the right polarity.
You're louder than Billy, Dave.
That's just for now.
You're...
And actually, about on parity with what I was using before.
Yo.
This is Exciter B, Bubba.
Yeah, it's gonna do it.
Think this one's okay?
Yeah.
Alright, what does the tone need on this thing?
I don't know. I gotta listen to it for a little longer.
Yeah, alright. Well, if you put this up, I can listen to the recording.
Yeah, alright. Let me get widened out a little bit. Oh my god, let me widen this thing out a little bit. Where are we at? Damn it. Okay. It's just under 12K. We'll go to 15. Open it right up.
Roger, W2VW. Okay, I put my low cut, took my low cut off, and now I've got mad positive peaks. Hello, I've got mad positive peaks.
Yeah, it's starting to maybe get a little grunged, but dude, it still sounds fine. Like any of those are good.
Roger. Okay, well, I'll take that. Yeah, I see a little too much here. It looks kind of stupid.
Nah, that's fine. I do that all the time, looking at my well, there's the PEP watt meter, and it always makes me smile. W2BTK.
Looking at Dave's signal. He's nice and wide, that's for sure. Sounds pretty good. I think it'll do it. Anyway, Dave. Sounds great. Doesn't sound anything like an FT1000. I'd never know.
Yeah, well, that's the idea. Actually, this has been my best sounding transmitter for a long time, but I haven't QC'd this particular audio system through it, so it's got problems. And I've got acoustic hum from my plate transformer and the 30S1 and blah, blah, blah. But if you look at those 10-meter YouTube videos, when I was on 10-meter AM, this is the exact setup that I worked every one of those guys with right up until about the last 3 or 4 months. And I put the Johnson 500 on the air. It was fun. It was more fun talking to those guys with a boat anchor, because there are people in the UK that collected American boat anchors and UK boat anchors. There was this guy in Ukraine, UR5QGC. He built his own AM transmitter in 1962, and he was still on the air with it before all that stuff happened over there, and I don't know what happened to him after that.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Shoot. I gotta get talking on AM to the Europeans one of these days. Try and get some of them on the AM. But there's more sidebanders on 3868. What's up with that?
I don't know. They just kind of sprung up there. They like the way AM sounds. The sibilant portions of our lower sideband. They're digging it. They're down there just kind of grooving on it. Silly stuff.
I feel like I'm cheating using this crap.
Nah. So what finals are in that box you built?
The one I'm working on, the same thing as Billy.
Ooh. Roger.
It's a tube tester. I have 4 of them here, and I need to test them.
In parallel.
Yeah, 4 of them. Run them in parallel. 2 pushing, 2 pulling.
Yeah, I could never run 4 of those in parallel. First of all, that would be stupid. And second of all, I would need to rewire my whole house.
Is that a bad problem to have?
You're either in a selective fade, Connor, or your audio has increased. What'd you say?
I might be. Oh! Yeah, it is. Oh! Yeah. I got my mic gain too high. Anyway, I said, is that such a bad problem to have?
Well, it's kind of stupid to run mega power on amateur radio when you think about it.
Yeah.
Kilo power is good, though. W2 very weak.
W2 BTK. You know where it's fun to run a lot of powers on the CB, I've heard from other people that do that.
Yeah, I've seen that on videos.
It looks like fun.
I've never done it. I've never run above 1500 watts anywhere. Well, no. I've run above 1500 watts, but that's only on the FM and AM broadcast band.
If you go to a key down, you can always tell the winners because they're bald. Guy gets out of his key down truck, got a full head of hair, he lost.
I really, really think you're onto something with that.
Or they don't have kids. Hey Billy, I gotta send you a video. I got a video somewhere on my phone I took like last month. We were at an not an AM broadcast, an FM broadcast station, and oh my God, the slug that they had on that meter, oh my lord.
Yeah, they were, you know, that's just the element. Like, you got to see what their ERP is.
Yeah, they're a 100 kW station.
A 100 kW out the pipe?
I don't know. Let me look. It might be ERP.
ERP.
Let's look.
What's your ERP?
They are class, according to the FCC, they are class C1, A zone 2, which means, let's see, that means 300 kW to 100 kW ERP. So they run, I think they were running a 50 kW transmitter. W4IPC, I'm getting a telecall.
When you get, I'll tell him later when he comes back. I was going to say, when you get into real man-sized bird watt meters, the movement is no longer 30 microamps, it's 100 microamp meter movement.
Uh-huh.
I think the I have here, I probably have a half a dozen of them, or 100,000 watt bird slugs.
Yeah, well, they had a 100 kW slug. And I also went to a TV station, WAVY. WAVY. What is that call letters for a coastal news station? WAVY, wavy. And their UHF signal is 1.2 megawatts ERP. Holy cow.
Yeah, well, you gotta, I guess, if they're making 50 kilowatts of RF at 1.2 megawatts, they've got a pretty good antenna system.
Yeah.
I used to maintain a guy's 2 meter setup that had about 300 kilowatts ERP on 2 meters, Connor.
Oh yeah? On station in Maine, I calculated on 20 meters. I did this about 3 months ago. I calculated it on 20 meters. I sat down and punched in all the numbers. And then I put it into a program to figure out, the ground, because it's 100 feet from the ocean. We calculated it to be about 5 megawatts of ERP if you're putting 1,500 watts into the antenna.
How much ERP, or again, QSB got you?
5 megawatts.
5 megawatts on 20 meters? No.
On 20 meters with the 4 or 5 element Yagis at 70-foot spacing with the that's EIRP with the ground and all that factored in. It was just shy of 5.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it has. How's the temperature up there? It's like 60 here. It's finally nice.
All right, let's figure this out. So let's call each 5 element Yagi. How long is the boom?
Each 5 element Yagi, the boom is 50 feet.
All right, so let's call that. Yeah, that's only that's a wavelength, right? Let's see, what's a wavelength? 36, a little over a wavelength boom, so that's 3. Let's call them 14 dBi. And there's so we'll call that if you stack them, so 2 of them is 17 and 4 of them is 20, and then the extra 2 dB, or so it's 20 dB, 1500 watts. Yeah, your figure's not that far off. It's 150 kilowatts. And you could add your 6 dB of ground gain to that, and you could get 600 kilowatts.
Make a pretty nice mobile setup. Good afternoon, guys. KC2RGW.
Hello, Chris. Yeah, if everything were perfect, Connor, everything were perfect with ground gain and all that, and you're not really going to get that in the real world because you've got stacked antennas and the heights don't work right, it would be 600 kW ERP.
Yeah. This is all theoretical, of course, because this is assuming this is EIRP, which is in a perfect world. Good evening, RGW. W4IP.
Hey, how's it going, Connor? What are you running? You on the 4 square? You're a good 5 over. Good strong signal up here.
Now we're on a phased array at 100 feet. 2 dipoles.
That is EIRP, Connor.
Yeah, EIRP, but not the ERP. It's the, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. EIRP versus ERP.
Over point source.
Yes. Egghead stuff. Smart people stuff.
What?
Well, the way you figure that out is string up a 20-meter dipole at the right height, and you get your 2 dB and another 6 for ground gain, and you AB between that at different receiving points.
Yeah. I'm keyed up. Didn't mean to be keyed up. Oops. W4IPC. Wait, what is it?
What?
Hey, Billy, you're out of focus.
Oh, I'm all blurry. Crap. Hold on.
Did you smear some French fry grease on your camera?
For what? Have you played with your little magical little signal generator there recently? That thing's sweet.
No, I blew up my little interstage amplifier, and I've been screwing around with stuff, but not very seriously. I think I have the parts I need to rebuild this one, and then Dave's gonna let me have an old rice box. I gotta go pick that up, and I might be able to use the PA in that to do what I need to do. Just go from about 0 dBm up to, I don't know, a couple watts.
Well, Billy, you already blew it up. I have in my garage, I have a couple amplifier boards for BLF 189s. And I have two BLF 189 XRs. One is used, one is brand new. If you want one.
Well, I'm not very familiar with those. Will it take like a super low power signal like that on the input?
Yeah, they're early MOSFETs. I mean, I can look it up. BLF 189 XR. I know their maximum output is 1700 watts. Their gain is like 26 dB. They run off of 50 volts. They can go up to 108 megahertz. They can handle like short-circuited output. These things are crazy.
Yeah, I've messed with those before. I had a 188, I guess, and I tried it with that, and just didn't work the best.
Yeah. Actually, they can go to 500 megahertz. Holy crap, I could make a freaking 160 to 440 amplifier for that. But, yeah, I'm trying to find something to do with them. Maybe I'll start a project, and I don't think I want to use the used one. So maybe I'll just make it a single transistor amp. 1700 watts is their maximum power. Well, their tested power. But, yeah, maybe I'll start a little project, wind some transformers, make it look like crap for my first time.
Not on 440 you won't.
Well, I won't on 440. You gotta be a smart cookie.
This exciter, well, not the one I'm on, but the other one, it goes up to 3.3 gigahertz, man.
Yeah.
.300 kilohertz to 3.3 gigahertz.
Moon bounce.
Yeah, that's a lot of those amps that work way up on millimeter wavelengths or lower, slightly lower. They've got weird inverse feedback schemes where they'll float above, you'll have a degenerative resistance somewhere, and if you try to use them down at 3 and 4 megahertz, you're going to find out that they're not going to work.
Yeah, I guess if I was going to do that, you'd have to have totally different circuits to use the same transistor, I guess. You'd have to, two different boards flip back and forth. Complex stuff.
And I've got piles and piles of strip line RF stuff that starts working at 500 megahertz here. Literally, like, probably 500 pounds of them. And yes, they're all strip line. They're totally different.
Yeah, maybe I'll start putting something together. I've got a board that, I don't know what it is. Looks like it's out of an amplifier, like a solid state, off-the-shelf amplifier. Then I've got a an output transformer. Actually, I've got 2 output transformers just floating around in a box. No clue where they came from. I bought it out in the state, but who knows?
Elijah.
What?
I said Elijah.
Oh, Elijah.
W4IPC.
W2 very weak.
W2 BTK.
Are you still on the rice box?
I am. I'm still on a rice box. I'm going to break for dinner here in a minute. I'll warm the other transmitter back up. I had to shut it off because I've got it set up so that just when you turn it on, it takes over the whole thing.
Oh, that's neat. To be honest, if you never told anybody and you just got on it, I don't think anybody would know.
Well, this thing's got a lot more bottom end. Hey, I don't like politics.
What is it, Dave? 101 or something?
We get it, Dave. Yeah, that transmitter. What did you all do to it? What did you do to it to make it do that? Because I know mine was restricted.
Yeah, it's an FT1000D. If you look on K6JRF, Japan Radio F site, there's all kinds of SSB mods. And AM mod is really simple. Just take the AM filter out and run very low source impedance audio right into the stage before the balance modulator. If you don't do that, you'll have problems.
Yeah, nice.
It's an old radio.
I always like the look of that 1000D though. Something about like the amber gas tube display. I like that radio. And 1000MP, I like that one pretty well too.
This thing's heavy enough they could have dropped one on Saddam Hussein's bunker.
Yeah. Dave, I sold that radio to get my Flex, and oh my god, the shipping to send that, oh my lord.
Yep, been there, done that.
And Dave's has all the bells and whistles in it.
Yeah, mine had all the Collins filters, all the little bits and boobs on the back, little receive antenna. Oh my god, that thing had to weigh, I don't even know. It ripped the box, I know that.
Yeah, it's stupid. So, Billy.
Yeah?
Check out our favorite SDR in Georgia.
Oh, is it, are we doing something down there?
I'm just looking right now, and, yeah.
Oh, let me pull that thing up.
It was busticated for a while. W2VW, can you hear me?
Dalonga, Georgia. Oh man, why does it load up on 44 megahertz?
I know.
440. Dave, you're louder than Billy down there. I can only see your carriers, and I can't see mine. Damn.
I know, Connor. You're going right over them. You're going right over their heads. I think that's bizarre.
This antenna has gained towards Europe.
I would think so, because you got no signal in Georgia. And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's probably helpful in a lot of situations. I haven't actually checked this thing on a distant SDR yet since I put... This is one as of yesterday I'm playing with.
Well, it worked. Yes, it's a good thing not to have a signal down there, because then you don't hear signals from down there.
Oh man, yeah, Dave, you're doing something. I can see myself. That's not bad.
This is stupid, man, because my half swastika never puts a signal down there that beats yours. But right now...
Yeah, man, you got quite a streak. I've got the fat carrier going on. And this S meter is so stingy.
I don't even look at that. I just look at the streak. Skid mark.
This is the good old boys net firing.
You're going to need some really good detergent to get rid of that. I remember when I was growing up, you know, it was like the mom getting the grass stains out. That was the whole advertisement. Like, if they put that same ad on the air now, they would burn down the Tide factory.
Dave, I think I can just make out... Oh, I can see my carrier. There we go. Just a little smudge. There we go. I can see all our IP addresses. That's interesting.
Hello.
Yeah, I saw your carrier for a minute there. And I'm in a fade. I faded out. I'm gone. Look at that. I'm not even there.
11111.
We're both faded out.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, weird conditions.
Weird carrier. Look, there's the Riddies. There they are doing their Riddy.
Oh, yeah, and they're real strong down there.
Kind of telling.
Yeah, kind of telling, huh?
Oh, boy, yeah, no, that's, they're definitely down south.
Hey, up, or they're within the skip zone to down south. That's real south.
Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Wow.
Yeah, man. W2 very weak. I'm worldwide. Look at that. You can hear me in Georgia.
Yeah, that was a big old streak. Wow, look at that. I'm streaking in Georgia.
Yeah, you got your skid mark happening, man.
That was actually yours. We keyed up at the same time, and I was like, whoa, no, yours is back. You're kicking my butt down there.
It's only that extra 100 miles right now, and in 5 minutes, it'll be back to normal where you just wipe the floor with my signal. Thank you, and have a nice day.
You're like almost stronger than that guy doing the Riddy down there.
I know. And this is my QRP rig.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun when I get that thing going. You know, it'll be nice. You're gonna get some cold winter nights.
Yeah, I'm warming up the house right now. It got a little chilly in here, so, you know, this is not bad.
I just wish I wish you could get an antenna that works really well on 160 this year, but I guess that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I gotta drop that sucker down and try to add some wire to it.
If you just took the ends, right, and put some loading on both ends, it wouldn't give you a penalty on this band. 574 feet, works perfect on 80 and 40 and 20. I get on 160, I got RF in my audio all over the place, so I got like a voltage node or something because of feed line length, so gotta tear this feed line out and make some open wire line. I'm using twin lead right now, but just my luck, I put a 160 antenna up, I still get RF in my audio on it. That kind of sucks. What are you using for an antenna tuner? It's a differential T, I think it is. It's 2 caps and a roller inductor. It's a big one. Yeah, you might want to consider building something. You can build something better than that. Yeah, actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. So Cody told me that he runs a balanced L, and you've been around the block and through the ringer. Link coupled or balanced L for like 160, 80, 40. What say you? Well, you're going to get different opinions, but my favorite thing is if you look at the Rich Measures article, the balanced tuner, just look at that Read the whole thing 5 times, and then forget about roller inductors. They're expensive, and cogs to synchronize it all. Just build the whole thing on a piece of wood. You can use Teflon or ceramic standoffs, and if you really want to spend money on something, use a vacuum variable and knife switches. You can look up W2 Alpha, W2A, and my call sign, W2A plus W2VW. You can see the tuner I'm going through right now, which will match anything. And the reason I like it better than a link-coupled tuner is it's not band-pass, so you can cruise the bands with the setting for 80 meters or work all the way up anywhere, or the setting for 10 meters or work all the way down anywhere just to listen. Yes, the receiver is attenuated some, but it's not like a link-coupled tuner where it's band-pass. Plus, you can keep your antenna DC grounded. If you're into not getting hit by lightning, you wind your own inductors. If you're going to run QRO, you make the inductors out of ice maker supply line, refrigerator ice maker supply line copper, and you wind 2 of them at the same time on the same form. So you're winding in stereo, a bifilar type winding, and then you just unscrew one from the other. You have pretty much identical inductors, and you get copper strap, and you can solder that on for taps. Look at Billy's QRZ page, and you'll see his construction of what he's using. They're harder to match than your classic designs, but once you get it working with a couple of different configurations with knife switches, that nobody seems to be building them like that, but if you do, I can reconfigure this thing 4 different ways just with knife switches. Once you do it that way, it'll match anything. You can load up your picnic table.
Yeah, that sounds a lot. So that's a double L, right? It's a balanced L, I think is what that's called, right? Because it's 2 inductors and a cap.
I don't know. I don't know where people get that nomenclature.
I just call it a double balanced because it's, it's balanced in and balanced out.
Yeah. If I were going to call it anything, it would be an H.
And the idea of the knife switch is you can move the cap from either in front or behind the inductors, right?
Yeah, I don't do the knife switch on mine. Dave's got knife switches on his, but I just do it with the lugs. But yeah, basically the idea is you're gonna want that cap on, the input, like the cold side, if the feed point impedance that you're trying to match into is like less than 50 ohms. But in most cases it's greater than 50 ohms. So I just leave mine on the hot side, like the output side, and that pretty much does everything for me.
The difference? Yeah, I'm not going to be doing, well, I shouldn't say that, but I don't see myself doing verticals, which is, I think, where you wind up with the real low impedance typically. So it's going to be like doublets or loops, which I think are always going to be higher.
You're going to have situations that are different from Billy and I, because I'm on very small real estate, and Billy has currently got a short antenna for 160, so we're trying to cram a lot of current into a short antenna. You don't have that problem there. You're going to have the voltage problem, like you said, where you're trying to tune a pure voltage sometimes at the coupler, not at the feed point, but at, in the shack end, and that's really, really hard to do. But you can pull it off, but it takes extreme measures, and it's a good way to set your place on fire.
Chris, you should watch my video about my tune. I made a video where I explained what's going on, and there's, you can look at it and all that crap. Even go up on my roof, you can see my whole antenna setup here.
In current balance.
Oops.
for that. And I think what I have is like an extreme like voltage node that's probably in close to the shack on 160. I think if I change the feed line length, I can shift that around. So I'm going to try, right now it's 150 feet that I carefully measured at 300 ohm, and it doesn't work. And rather than butcher this, I'm just going to make, I'm going to try 110 feet of 600 ohm, because I picked that up off a chart somewhere, and see if that doesn't shift it around enough.
Yeah, there's ways around that. You can use stubs. You can change your feed line length. You can change your loop length. There's 6 ways to Sunday to get rid of that.
Yeah, I really only need it to work on 3 bands, so it shouldn't be too hard to find a number that'll do that. The upper bands, if they work, it's just like extra. I really don't care very much about them.
Yeah, well, that's neat that you're playing around with that stuff, and you've been around long enough to know what works and what doesn't after you do it. That's the fun part.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, Billy.
Watch my YouTube video. Like, I show my whole tuner, like how it works, explain it, my whole antenna system, like everything. Get a real good idea of what's going on here, not just like a picture,
For more normal people in ham radio.
Well, thanks. I think I got this stream back up. W2BTK. Yeah, I figured that's a good video, though, because they actually show the math and this and that. Like, you could duplicate that with just about anything, And we'll see you later, Dave.
Yeah, I like experimenting with antennas. It's, I was joking around, like, it's kind of frustrating to go through all the work and getting it. I did this on purpose, and I wanted to see if I could get the whole length of the loop suspended, was part 1. And I just put the twin lead on it just because I had it, and it was quick, and I didn't have a drill bit to get the ladder line through the wall, and I don't have it made yet. So I did this quick and dirty, and it's just aggravating when you go through all that. And it sweeps okay. It's resonant at 2.1, which is a little weird as long as it is. But then I go to fire up, and I'm still actually haven't verified that it's going out over the air, but I'm almost certain it is. I just heard it through my speakers and everything as soon as I keyed up.
I'm just hearing a whole bunch of, crap scratching a little bit underneath you. It's like I don't know what they're trying to do. Maybe it's attempt to say QRM, but you're flattening it. There's a lot of really piss-weak noise going on around this frequency.
Yeah, there's all kinds of nonsense. It's all over the place. Miscreants on the band. But the loop, I put it in the broadcast band. It was pretty funny. There's a station on 1710 that is a 10-watt station in New Jersey, I think Franklin County, and they were S9 up here on it yesterday. So some crazy band conditions. But the upper end of the broadcast band, I can tell this loop is definitely is picking up a lot better than the other loop already. But it's tension pretty tight. It's way up there, but I may have to put some slack, and I think it might be a little too tight to survive the way it is, but it's definitely hearing well.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try that, put up a loop receive antenna or something like that. I've just been listening on my transmit antenna forever.
It's the 2 loops now, this one's brand new, but between the 2, they definitely have a quieter characteristic. I don't think they're close. Some people make them out to be, but they definitely have a quieter characteristic. The noise is different, the background noise on them, than when I had to double it up.
Yeah, I've never used a loop before. I've never had one, but that's what people say. They're a little quieter. I don't know. Just had my dipoles. Actually, yeah, think about it. I made a loop for 2 meters one time, but that doesn't really count. And it was hanging in my window, so, you know, not a very serious setup. Yeah. This stuff is funny, man. I was just listening to what's going on. I give that an F, by the way. I generally give out grades for this kind of behavior, and that's an F. I mean, it's too weak. It's not doing anything. Anyway, W2BTK.
KC2RGW.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, yeah, that video I just checked, it's on my QRZ page. If you scroll down, it's actually embedded there. It says below is a YouTube video I made showcasing my homebrew antenna system and tuner. So it's up there. Oh, you're in the Twitch chat right now. I can just drop y'all a link to it.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Let me just find it in my videos. There you go. What are you using the weed eater string there, Louis? Louis in the chat there too, another ham N9 GTO. He's saying weed eater string, something about 850 feet of weed eater string. Oh.
Yeah, so this is what Perry's running basically. So yeah, he was walking me through it a little bit last night.
Yeah, I built mine, and then Perry wanted to copy it, so I kind of held his hand, and he came up with what he had there.
Yeah, I actually have the space. I live in a log cabin, and my shack wall, if you look me up, you'll see that's actually for real. That's what I'm looking at when I'm sitting here. And up next to the Danny DeVito, I've got all that wall space. I could actually put a board with the tuner on it, hang it right there, and I'm tall. I could actually reach it up there. So it's something I might consider doing.
It's not too bad. If you watch the video, you'll see how I came out of my roof there with 2 pieces of Teflon. It's 1-inch diameter Teflon that was drilled through, made like a 3/8 inch hole right down the middle, kind of making like a Teflon sleeve, and the ladder line comes right up through that. And I got those, like roof flashing booties, like for the vents that come up for your plumbing out of the roof. You get those vents basically just slid right over the 1-inch diameter Teflon rods, and made for a pretty neat install. It just comes right out of the roof. You'll see in the video. W2BTK.
Yeah, that's pretty clever. You either talked about it or I saw that some other place where you did that. That's pretty cool. With this, it's a wood log wall. So I have a 5/8 hole drilled for the 300 ohm twin lead that comes through that. And then today I just picked up a 1/4 inch electrician's bit, a long one. So I'm just going to put 2 holes through for the 14 gauge wire, and then silicone it in once I have the wire run.
Yeah, silicone's good stuff with high voltage. That'll work. I just hope that wood doesn't get moist or slightly conductive or anything, because if you are having like a voltage feed or whatever could be pretty hairy right there. I don't know. I'd still try to sleeve it with something.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's insulated THHN. Everything's insulated. Yeah, especially like if I did an E-rig, it would really be something to think about. Right now, I'm only running like 100 watts carrier.
You'll probably be fine. But if you do step up the power, something to think about. And that jacket on the THHN is only good for like 600 volts. I mean, it's gonna be a hell of a lot more than that there.
Yeah, good point. I know I calculated mismatches on one of my antennas, and it was like 15,000 volts at like 300 watts because the mismatch was so crazy.
Yeah, man, it's serious. I mean, I used the Teflon spacers to get out of my roof, even though it was really just going through wood and stuff. You know, it's my roof. It could be moist, whatever. There's Teflon there, so it's gonna be a lot harder to arc. And then all the spacers for my ladder line are made out of Lexan. And it's very wide spacing I use, 7 inches, so no arky sparky for me.
Yeah, I'm just using the fence spreaders. I'll do 4-inch on it, and it should be all right for whatever I run. It's 14 THHN. Yeah, like you said, the insulation's more just to keep it from getting detuned more than anything else.
Yeah, I left all the insulation on my feed line and all that stuff. It's fine. I used heavier stuff because of what Dave was saying before. My radiation resistance on 160 is really, really low. So when you try to jam a bunch of watts into a couple of ohms, there's tons of current, man, tons of current. Just on 160. So I've got number 8 as my feed line, and that's continuous out. And it just turns and becomes the antenna, and it's all one piece for the first, 12, 15 feet of the antenna from the feed point out on either side. It's just that one continuous piece of number 8, and then I splice number 10 onto that.
I can actually use the output of this DX engineering balun, because it's a 1-to-1 current balun. I could come straight out of that off the top. So I can technically make mine on a smaller board, because it'll just piggyback up to where the balun is, because I can come straight off the terminals of the balun and go right to the inductors with it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I built mine on a piece of plywood at first, but then I got that real nice piece of fiberglass that a high voltage rectifier was on from a TV transmitter, so I used that instead. And I just float my inductors there, and yeah, exactly. I changed my balun around too. I don't have, I did the same thing that everyone does with the FT240-31 core, and 8 wraps, 4 one way, 4 the other way with that tiny, RG142 coax or whatever. But I went away from that because I don't need a 50 ohm balun. Like, there's no reason for me to have a 50 ohm balun with the tube exciter over here and the tubes and everything. So I made mine 2 pieces of really, really high temp, really good magnet wire, and did the wraps with those, and then I slid the magnet wire into some Teflon sleeving, so it's like a really, really, really high current, high power balun at this point. So not that I had problems with my old one, it's just, why not,
Yeah, this tuner is a little bit regrettable. I needed a tuner right away, and this one looked interesting. It's built pretty heavy for sideband and general use. It's okay. If I was matching, more matched antennas, it would be fine. It doesn't arc or anything. I've never arced it, but knowing what I know now, I would have either built something or gone with like a Palstar where they have the balun on the input side.
Yeah, it just makes more sense to have the balun on the lowest impedance part of the tuner, you know? It solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that concept until fairly recently. Like, I've been digging in a whole... It's funny how, like, when you first look at material and, you know, you look at it and it's, you know, completely new, and it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting, I only half understand it, and then put it down and come back to it sometime later. Like, it comes together more and more and more, and that's basically what's been happening to me over the year. Because I like CBIK, CEBIKW4RNL, the guy that used to have the website with all the wire antennas. I read and reread his site, and now I keep finding clippings of articles, you know, from his site, and they make a whole lot more sense now, just because, you know, I keep building information as I go.
Yeah, there's good info on it out there. I'm not sure what you were reading there, but the one article that, like, made it all click for me and is really well written is the Richard Measures article. I think it's called A Balanced Antenna Tuner. I'll drop the link to that in the chat, because you're still in there, right?
Yeah, send that over. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that one. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm going to drop the link here in just a second. And he goes over, you know, the advantage of having the balun at that point in the tuner rather than on the output. So there's the link to the article that I'm talking about.
Yeah, awesome. I'll go through this a couple of times. Thanks. KC2RGW.
Yeah, C says... trouble with balance. He goes through them, saturating this and that. He said all these problems are easily avoided. The solution is simple. Don't put the balun in the highest impedance part of the circuit. Instead, put the balun in the lowest impedance part of the circuit and build a balanced L network tuner for the balanced output of the low impedance balun. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah, that's Richard Measures AG6K is who wrote that. And this is W2BTK on Montana Mountain.
I'm back from my computer. I'm probably 15, 18 inches.
Here's some splashes from the band. I didn't get the whole. Did you say MJY?
Yeah, it's Whiskey Alpha 3, Mike Juliet Yankee, WA3MJY.
Alright, there you go. WA3MJY. W2BTK, Bill here on Montana Mountain here in New Jersey.
Yeah, okay, Bill. Name's Rick. We've talked before, but it's been maybe a month or so ago. I was on one night from down my place in Connellsville. I'm up at my house in the mountains. And this is the first time I've had this Ranger 2 on. It's probably been 3 years. I hope it sounds okay. I'm just running the straight Ranger 2, no amplifier. W2BTK, WA3MJY.
You're doing pretty well here. No amplifier. Yeah, sorry, pardon me. Sometimes I forget. I haven't been on the air very much anyway, the past month or so. So, all right, Rick. Yeah, it's a little light here and there, but for the most part, you get a great signal. It's super low noise tonight, which is really nice.
Yeah, okay, fine business, Bill. Yeah, I remember talking to you because I think you have a big amplifier someplace in a separate room, whatever you were talking about. I'm pretty sure it's you, Bill. And I was on there, I think. But I was using an Invader 200, a Johnson Johnson Viking Invader transmitter, and I had that running into an SP200 amplifier. And I have that down at my place in Connellsville. This is my place up in the mountains of Vermontville, about 15 miles away from there, almost 3,000 feet up. Well, so I guess it's about 2,600 something. The last I looked. Johnson Ranger 2, drop by folks. Probably be there, it's on an SX101 Mark 3A receiver. That's pretty much the mainline AM equipment here. I do have other equipment. I have an SP101D that I use that quite often on AM. But I heard you on there, and you have a beautiful signal in here, like you did when I was down in Connellsville. Go back to you. I don't want to hog into your queue, so I thought I'd see if you could hear me. I'm going to run about 65 watts out for digital watt meter on my head. So, back to you, W2BTKW83MJY.
Yeah, all right, Rick. Your mountain station sounds pretty good here. You get some nice equipment, that's for sure, and a little bit of elevation. It's kind of like, the place where I always am is up here on a mountain, about 1,000-foot elevation, and not a lot of neighbors or anything. Very quiet around here. So, yeah, I'm all about the mountain stations. But yeah, you're coming in well. There's a little bit of fading. You kind of went down in the noise for about 10 seconds there during the transmission, but the entire rest of the time, is perfectly good copy. But yeah, I'm just kind of relaxing here on Sunday, fire up for a little while. I haven't been getting on during the week because of work, but we're going back to a different schedule next week, so I should have a little more time freeing up, but I wasn't even going to stay out here too much longer. Chris is out there. Dave, my buddy Dave, W2VW, was out here. I think he went to dinner. So, yeah, you're not interrupting much there, Rick, so no worries on that. W2BTK, and I wonder if Chris is still out there and if he's hearing Rick.
I can see his carrier and just make out the sounds. The problem is there's a little bit of static noise in the band, and the buckshot from above on 85 is taking him out up here. So the carrier's there, but I'm not getting enough audio to really get him out of the noise floor. KC2RGW.
Well, I'm going to see if I can do something about the signal. Maybe I'll get a little more power here, so I'm going to make a couple changes. You'll hear me better, because I have an SP220 that I bought specifically to pair up with this Ranger. All I have to do is throw a couple of switches, and I can share it with all the different radios that I have here. So I'll be back here in a couple of Bill. W2BTKW83MJY.
All right, Rick. Yeah, it's warm those tubes up. See if that SP200 can kick you up a little bit. It should. So, all right, yeah, good stuff. I'm just kind of reading the chats in here and hanging out. Streaming live on Twitch right now. Got my pan adapter, little webcam view, and like the chat and everything going on. Twitch.tv/AmateurRadioLIve. It's a bunch of fun.
Don't you just hate those people that zero beat while you're talking? You're too strong to zero beat too.
That's awesome.
I had to measure your I had to measure you on the receiver and then use the free counter on transmit.
That's silly stuff. Although I've had that problem over here too with people.
Yeah, I'm stuffed. I am you hear the voice of this person? I am a stuffed person.
What did you eat?
Did I tell you about the homemade tomato sauce?
You were talking about meatballs last time.
Yeah, well, got this homemade tomato sauce that Ada makes that, like, it's very labor intensive. You gotta throw all the tomatoes in this thing that clamps to the countertop, and it's gotta be, you put a little bit of olive oil on it so that it's got lubrication so that it doesn't grind itself to death, and you have plastic particles. You sit there and you crank this thing and it squeezes all the water out of the tomato bits.
You forgot the eating the tomatoes.
Come over here.
Tomatoes,
Step on up.
cooking the tomatoes for 12 hours.
Make sure you displace the scope. All right.
Adding a gazillion vegetables to the tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking it again. And making 20 jars of sauce.
And then complaining about it takes, oh
It took
man,
the
that's
whole
the hardest
weekend.
part.
I made it just for you.
So every time she does this, right? Every single time.
I'm never doing it again.
And it's exactly like childbirth.
It's so good though, and that's my wife does this thing like huge batch cooking, so we have a stand-up freezer that's just chicken stock and beef stock and pork stock and like all pot pies that she pre-makes and sausage and meatballs, and that's the way to do it. Just get the pain over with. Do an afternoon of standing there processing all that stuff, and there's nothing better than homemade sauce. And you get all the seeds out of it when you run it through the strainer. It's good stuff.
No stems, no seeds that you don't need. And you run it through again, you know?
I used to work in restaurants, and it's no fun making it, but nothing tastes like it. There's no commercial sauce that's close.
I think all the Italian joints get like 55-gallon drums of the same sauce made in the same factory.
They buy it from in New England. It tastes like all oregano and vinegar. It's like sour and bitter up here. No one does a sweet sauce. At least in Jersey, it was all like sweet sauce and all the pizza joints.
Yeah, I was right several hundred feet away from the best pizza place on earth in Manhattan for years, and whenever I have company, we'd get a pizza from there. Yeah, that's all over now.
Yeah, I've got a picture of you wheeling a cart full of transmitter parts down the avenue there, giving the finger.
The best part I ever had, Billy, was I had one of those carts. I told you I had 400 pounds of pumps on it. I was taking them out to get them remanufactured down in Atlantic City. There was a guy, Absecan Pump Service, Absecan Motor, the only place that could rebuild my stupid glycol pump without it leaking. Other places would paint it real nice, and it would leak. But these guys didn't paint anything. It was naked metal, and it worked. I'm wheeling this cart, and here comes this guy in a suit, steps right in front of me, you know. I just about knocked him the hell over. And he looks at me, I'm like, this thing weighs 400 pounds. I can't stop it. Look where you're going.
WE3MJY back.
Hey, Rick.
Well, anyway, I got more power now, I think. How's it sound?
Oh, yeah, you definitely stepped it up there. Dave came back since you were gone. It sounded a lot better here.
How about Chris? Can Chris hear him?
No, it's just a carrier and a little bit of noise. The buckshot from above and the noise floor here is wiping them out.
You got buckshot all the way from... That doesn't sound right. I mean, that's even worse than... That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, whoever's up there is like, let's see, 5, 10, they're like 20 wide on separate peaks.
I viffoed up there for a second. I heard Steve.
Yeah, I don't know. That you might have a problem with something getting blown away in your receiver. You have an easy way to attenuate the receiver?
I can attenuate it. I can also narrow it up. I'm listening at 10K wide, so I could narrow it a little bit. And I could attenuate it, but it's, you know, don't forget, I'm right in his neighborhood. So if it's Steve, like, his Townsend transmitter's pretty hefty. So, you know, him, Tim will do it, Al will do it. Bob does it when he's here and I'm up on 85. You know, just this is an SDR, and I have a lot of buffer setting to make, you know, almost vertical side filtering. But the problem is, if they're in the passband, they're in the passband. They're in fairly strong.
Yeah, I guess if you shift the passband down a few kilohertz, that'll help. But yeah, you really want to. What you want to, whenever you see what you think is a defective signal, always jam a 6 or a 10 or a 13 or 15 or 20 dB of attenuation in it. Take a good look, and you should see the exact same shape. If you don't, it's non-linearity in the receive system.
Chris, what does he have up there anyway? I've heard it's like 96 FET E-rig or something.
I don't know for sure. It could be a 24, and I don't think he runs it anywhere near that. But, like, you know, those guys probably sound big down to you. They're in short skip to me. It's since I moved up here, it's unbelievable how strong they all sound.
I thought somebody told me he had a 96 FET rig or something like that.
That ought to make like 5 or 10 watts.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many he has. Each FET's 50 in carrier, though. And I think they have designs up for 24 FETers.
Yeah, I'll take a pass on this discussion. W2VW.
Was that N9 GTO that I heard out there in the peanut gallery?
GC2OGW.
It was. There was Louie out there. Hey, Louie, W2BTK. Well, turn it on, Lou. He's gonna get on the big rig.
Yeah, what's that thing? It sounds like one of them modern rigs that doesn't modulate all the way.
I don't know. What are you on right now, Lou?
Hand me down some more dynamite, Maverick. We're gonna blast this rabbit to smithereens.
He's got his, I think he's got a pair of 1000s or something like that down there. He's been talking about firing up.
Operative word sometimes, Billy.
Billy. Get in the pool.
Been having. I mean, sometimes I wonder if I've still got it.
Get in the pool, Billy.
It's funny, I'm sitting here like, man, what is that weird echoing going on? And it's because I've got the Twitch going and the audio's coming through my browser, but very low. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out why I keep hearing all these echoes.
How much delay are you getting on the live feed there?
Quite a lot. Like, it's got to be like 10 seconds or something. It's usually not that far off, but it's pretty far off tonight.
Yeah, 10 seconds seems to be about the norm, which is really bad.
It's never less than 7 or 8 seconds ever.
Oh man, Twitch really has to step up their game. I thought they were like working with Bezos bucks or something, you know, like what the hell?
I've heard guys on here on this band at night talking to each other within their own skip zone when the band is long. it was kind of telling, because there were some guys on 3888 on Slop Bucket doing that. And you can tell that they're using SDRs to talk to each other, because the one guy quits talking and the other guy doesn't start transmitting till like 10 seconds later on every over. It's kind of funny. It's comical.
There's a guy, I won't say who, nice enough guy, but he's up and down 75 frequently in a one-way conversation. It's like, what the heck is going on? And I finally put it together. He's got someone where he's talking on HF and someone else is talking back to him on like 2 that's not licensed for HF, but he does it every single day. There's no possible way I don't hear who he's talking to. I finally put it together that they're doing some kind of weird duplex across bands, and his friend's listening on HF but talking back to him over a repeater.
Why?
He's probably got a friend he wants him to get interested enough to get on HF. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm just in your background. I'm just in your background. With a single 6146. N9GTO with no condition.
And sweet.
He's doing okay here on a single 6146 there, Commode.
Can do it now. Full duplexes.
You're not doing too bad here, Louie.
Really? Well, doing full duplexing, listening K3FEF.com and talking to you on my single 6146.
Hey, you got 40 dB SNR here, man.
Oh man, don't make my head all that big. You know what you're gonna do to me? Oh shit, I can't wait. We're going to the Dragon's Tail, brother.
Ooh, watch your profanity.
I said we're going to the Dragon Tails, brother.
Oh, I know. Fire up the dual 1000 rig, man. Do it.
No, I can't do that. You know that would be totally unacceptable. You know that.
Dude, it's the second person today to tell me 15 meters is wide open.
What does wide open mean?
It's open to Japan from Haiti and other places.
On FT8. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. That's exciting. I don't have JA on in 15 meters. So that's really exciting. But Haiti, being down there in the Caribbean, that's a whole different ball game than the dog X-ray that we get up here in the northern latitudes. Whole different ball game.
Indiana. I'm not in Furland. I'm in Indiana. That's fighting words.
Man, I probably wouldn't last out there in Nine Land.
Like I said, I take that offense because, you know, I'm in Nine Land, but I am looking for land. Because they're 420 feet above sea level and I'm 1,000 feet above sea level. With the rod of God, and we just don't have all the conditions right now in 9GT.
Well, you have enough conditions. It's enough.
You had enough of what?
To communicate.
So did you get one day off this week, Billy?
Yeah, pretty much. We're going back to the 4-day schedule next week with the early starts and the long days for 4 days and then 3 days off. So that'll be nice. I might be able to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday streams again.
Oh, that'd be fun. I'll get on Thursday night and maybe do the inaugural of the thing. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cletus, I missed that. Seems like there's somebody might have been talking at the same time.
Yeah, this here's the MRI net. If you've had an MRI, you can check into the net. You take a number and wait at the counter, and you get your service on the MRI net.
Timmy was talking about the Blue Magoo, and I told him, yeah, I have a blue amplifier. It's MRI Blue.
You guys are going to have to straighten up. The enforcement officers here.
What's that there, Louie?
I say boys, get out of the hen house.
Enforcement, what's that?
Is this the pre-net?
Hey, you found the pre-net there, but hold on. We're taking any check-ins now. With anyone with a Yankee in their call sign, that would be a Yankee. Anyone with a Yankee in their call sign, check in now.
Anybody who's ever been on a date with their cousin, check in now.
This is Bob with my other brother Bob.
What?
If you're not looking for any diversity in the gene pool, you can check in now.
I got a Yankee in my call sign, but I never dated my cousin.
I never dated mine either. But
W2 very weak.
my other cousin might have married my cousin.
KC2 RGW, the Whisper. What?
W2BTK. What? Oh, it's so quiet.
All the plants have dropped dead here.
I hear everybody just fine.
I said,
Oh, the plants.
Dave, my trees are sick with these lantern bugs, man. They're swarming all over everything. I had to get more pesticide, man. I'm gonna do 2 more trees over here. It's disgusting. There's parts of the trees you can't even see bark.
oh man, if they're that infested, I don't know how they're gonna bounce back from that. You need to make jihad on those bugs.
Dude, I'm trying so hard to get some more of that insecticide down here. It worked really well, but they've gone to other trees now. It's a mess.
Why are you down the band?
Why is he what?
Why are you down the band?
This is the frequency that we're on. The rest of the universe is off.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
There's some single sideband stations who have started a QSO slightly south of this frequency.
Roger.
I'm waiting for Zimbabwe to tell me to move. Until that happens, I'm not moving.
My problem is I can't hear your buddy Billy without going to K3FEO.
Oh, Zimbabwe doesn't even talk to those guys anymore. Never mind.
Oh boy.
See, Connor's listening to Hate Me Work JA. That's fun, man. But 15, that's... a lot of guys moved off to 15 back in 2015 from 10 meter AM. They're like, oh yeah, we'll get on 15 and it'll be open for another 3 years. No, it closes 5 minutes after 10 meters does. Thank you.
I had a lot of fun on 15 meters one field day. Worked a whole bunch of people in the single slop bucket mode. That was not bad.
Yeah, you know, if you're, it doesn't matter what you do. You could be doing any mode, as long as you're understanding of how it works and you're doing your thing, it's great. Diversity, man. That's what makes the United States #1. Diversity. I know that's a key. That's like one of those liberal words, diversity. But diversity, if you think about it the right way, it makes us better.
Amen to that.
Yeah, I actually like 17. It's like 20, but people actually want to talk to you. I don't mind 17. At least you can get some rag chewing in.
My antenna sucks on 17 meters, Chris. It sucks.
I have nothing to compare mine to. I'm always running one antenna, which is kind of dumb, I guess. I don't have a way to A-B anything, but the 80 to 10 loop, the last loop, seemed to work really well there.
Yeah, well, 17, you know, you could jam up a vertical. I mean, if you get into figuring out how to couple legal limit power into anything, once you get that part down, you can build all kinds of different antennas and A-B them, and I guess you've got room because you're up there in the middle of no place.
Yeah, I've got 10 acres, about 1.5 acres cleared, and a lot of woods, and I have enough room to put some beverages in too. That's another project on my list.
Oh yeah, if you want, are you into doing dog X-ray?
Not really, but it would be nice to have an even better receiver. At this point, I think I'm right on the edge of being able to transmit further than I can hear.
Yeah, gotcha. That's a problem here. There's so much local noise and crap, like on 160. There's no way I can hear as well as I can transmit, especially when I was running a vertical T Marconi. It was like people were out hearing me. Like people from up in your area were out hearing me, and it's very frustrating.
My typical noise floor, all my major sources of noise here are all my own fault. They're coming from my own house, from inside the house. And my typical noise floor, when everything is about normal, is about an S4 up here. And it was a 7 on the very best of nights down in Jersey, and typically 9 plus for a noise floor on 80 and 160.
Oh my God. You gotta nuke all that stuff, man. I went through and I nuked everything that was making noise in the house. So there's only a couple things that I own anymore that do make hash, and you know, I use them from time to time, but it's very controlled, and I use them when I'm not on the radio. But it's stuff coming from neighbors or nearby, or the line power outside. That's annoying.
Yeah, I've got a heat pump that makes a bunch of noise, a heat pump water heater that makes a bunch of noise, and a washing machine that makes a bunch of noise. There's just no real easy solution to those, and unfortunately the 2 heat pumps are new. They were very expensive, and I didn't have an HF set up. Well, there's almost no way to pre-test any of that stuff. The rest of them I've identified and either mitigated, or like, for example, my ceiling fan, a Casablanca fan, is a ridiculous emitter. I mean, it emits on all bands. It's a DC motor and a plastic housing with a PWM control on it, and I just don't run it when I'm on the radio.
Test 1.
Oh, that sucks. But, well, at least you found this stuff. You get in there, see if there's anything you can do, wrap some chokes or bypass, I don't know.
I'd like to choke the engine out with both of them, I'll tell you that. KC2 RGW.
I'd like to choke the government for not enforcing their regulations. Oh, you two very weak. What frequency are we on, Billy?
Oh, 3871 point something. Let's see, 5? 3871 and a half, thereabouts.
Alright, well, I guess that's close enough. Yay. It's getting dark in here. I can't see any of the meters. I'm just going to hope that they're all reading the right thing.
Get yourself the little magnifiers with the little flashlight in its handle.
Yeah. I have those built into my eyewear. I have progressive lenses, and if I climb on the roof, I'll throw up and fall off the roof if I'm wearing these things.
I wear progressives too. It took me about 3 months to get used to like that weird, like your feet are in the wrong perspective when you're walking, but I finally adjusted to it.
I have never adjusted to it. I have to count the steps. Ooh, there was a flashover. An Akova, dear. I had an Akova. Fruit fly, I think, because it's gone. Nope, that's gone. That was a temporary Akova. If I walk down the steps, I need to count them or I'll fall on my ass. Because when you go from looking, as you know, straight ahead to looking down at your feet are 20 feet away instead of being 5 feet away from your eyeballs.
Have you ever been working on like a junction box over your head and you realize that you can't actually tilt your head far enough to get to the reading section of the lens? So the tip for you, if you haven't figured it out, is if you put the glasses on upside down when working on anything much above your forehead in angle, then it fixes that problem.
That's only if you have the same astigmatism in the left and the right eye.
No, I don't have that problem.
Oh yeah, you get those mismatched. I had that for a while. One eye was different than the other.
I have that problem, W1LQA.
Hello.
Hello! Yeah, I have astigmatism in my left eye, not my right eye. I'm basically not functional without my glasses.
Reading distance is where I need all the correction. Good evening, Greg.
You know, I don't, I wore contacts for a long time. I got, you know, I'm a pretty nearsighted here, but I just got used to it, and like I haven't been wearing my glasses or contacts because A, my glasses get ruined at work, but B, like I used to wear contacts to work, but then I thought about it, like if there was, God forbid, an arc flash or something like that, I just don't need those things fusing to my eyeballs.
I can't bring myself to wear contacts. I've considered it, and then the thought of, nah, I can't do it.
I had a misprescribed set of contacts one time with the wrong amount of arc in them, and they got stuck.
Oh.
And I called. Who did I call? I called the hospital, and I'm like, one of my contacts is stuck in my eye, and I might need to come in. And the person on the other end's like, oh yeah, that happens all the time. We have a device, it's like a hose, and we stick it on the contact and apply a tiny amount of suction, and it takes the lens right off. So I was like, oh, thank you. So I went over to the fish tank, and I had the extra fish tank hose. I got some of it, I sterilized it, and I stuck one end in my mouth, stuck the other end in my contact, and just applied a tiny amount of suction and popped it right off.
Oh, that's great.
Saved yourself $6,000.
And then I called the eye doctor the next day, and they're like, you did what?
That's like when you go to an ENT, never tell them you dry your ear with a Q-tip. They just about have a stroke.
Yeah, and I get on 3871. Ooh, I'm drifting down.
Yeah, that's okay. You're getting awful close to that single sideband station.
Well, the guys on 68 are there pretty often. That's a pretty regular group. We're slid down pretty far.
Well, they don't sound regular to me. They sound like they're irregular.
Yep.
Well, if Bob and Bill ever come back down here, people are all going to be pissed off by the time they get here.
Oh yeah, we get them primed.
You know? All right. You take January, and we'll take March, and we'll flip.
Oh man. Hey, what time is it? 6:31. Wow, look at that. 6:31. Oh jeez. Yeah, I'm not gonna stand here too much longer. Oh, hey, there's Louie with the follow.
The sands of the hourglass are winding down, my pretty. You and your little dog too.
Yo, I got a black cat. I mean, that I would be down.
Black cat crossed my path, blue mist round my soul.
It's almost Halloween, man. I got my black cat. That's my costume. I got a black cat.
This is my black cat. That's all I need. That and a mask.
Yup. Oh gosh. Yeah, maybe I should. I haven't had a trick-or-treater here yet since I've lived up here. We're pretty rural.
Can you imagine being a trick-or-treater in your area? Like, you're a kid, and you want to trick-or-treat, right? But you live up there on Montana Mountain. Like, really?
It'd be like you would walk several miles, walk all night, hit maybe 10 houses.
I mean, the kid needs all the sugar from all those treats just to get to the next house.
Out of their mouth, it's feel like mountain climbing just to get to the top.
Yeah, basically. Oh, dude, yeah, they burn off all those calories by the time they hit the next house. You know, I think they do, like, they'll either go to like other neighborhoods and drop them off, or they do like that tailgate trick-or-treat stuff. Like, I don't know how it works. I was lucky. When I lived in New York, Manhattan, until I was 6. So, you know, you go to all the apartments, and then, you know, the suburb where we moved after that was great. I mean, I used to fill 2 pillow bags of candy, like, full, you know, like they were heavy. Like, you'd fill one, go home, drop it off, get a fresh pillow bag, and head back out.
We used to coordinate a matrix. Our neighborhood where I grew up was house, like right next to each other. We would have bicycles, and we would ride out to different, like, grid square of the surrounding neighborhoods, lock them all up, do our haul, get back in the bicycle,
AQQ,
race back
thanks
home,
for the
dump
follow,
the bag
buddy.
out, go back out to the next grid square. I remember, you know, the first one when I was like bicycle kid age, when Halloween was on a Saturday. And I mean, I must have brought home 30 pounds of candy.
I'm telling you. And then there was always that one house, right, where the people weren't home or whatever, and they put out, you know, a whole bowl of candy there, and it was like honor system, like, you know, please take 2 or whatever. And me and my jerky friends, we'd be walking down the street, And I remember one time we spotted a house. It was at the end of this street, and they had their porch light on, and it was bright, and the bull was out there, like you could see it off there about, I don't know, a quarter mile away. And I spotted it, and I just took off running, and everybody was like, what the hell? Like, what the hell's Billy going? And then I thought about it, looked down, and I'm like, oh crap. They all started bolting right after me. And we all kind of got there at the same time, and we were just shoving each other into bushes and like tripping each other, and it was like a scene out of like, I don't know, like American Gladiators or something, trying to get this bowl of candy, and then just dump the whole thing in your satchel there. Oh, good times. W2BTK. Bloody noses, everything. You name it.
Please, youth.
In the town I was in Massachusetts, where we had an apartment. It's a real heavy-duty lefty town. It's all like people with red frame glasses with that squinty, confused look on their face, you know, like a Subaru with like 4 adopted children in the back town. And on Halloween, the Facebook page for that town was hilarious. I put the candy on the porch in a rare cut crystal bowl from my great-grandmother. People would put like these heirloom quality bowls out every year and complain about the kids stealing the bowl with the candy off their porch. So what I would do is every year I would be like, I don't know what kind of idiot left this beautiful bowl out on their porch, but you should see this bowl I got for free today. And it would set them off for like days.
Chris, you're a perfect guy for AM.
Yeah, that's called trolling.
Hey, look, it's a guy with an S9 carrier. Hey, Billy, you looking at the SDR down there?
No, I closed that a little while ago, but wow, it's got an S9 carrier, man. It's the ICOM 7300 and your 8L811 from ham radio outlet are really doing something.
Yeah, well, you're back to kicking my ass down there. I just figured I'd tell you that.
That's what you call a carrier pigeon. KC2RGW.
Oh, the guy that started quacking 3 kilohertz away is now gone, and the carrier is there. Let's see. Motive, means, and opportunity, and no freaking signal. How do you solve this?
You're all worthless and weak. This is W2JTD. You're all worthless.
Hi, Paul. How's your zero beat?
Hi, Dave. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Who cares? I really don't give a damn. But there are people with synchronous detectors, you know, and all that stuff. How you holding up there, buddy?
Well, nipples up, you know. Thumbs up for the future and all that. I'm on 3875. If we're working some kind of DX100 thing where I've got a boop, you have to give me some.
All right, well, here's some time. I'll give you a carrier. I think I'm on 3870.85. I actually don't want to be this low, but screw it. Anyway, yeah, 3875. That's like so last week. All right, well, here we go. Anyway, good to hear you. And man, the weather sure has changed here. I'm sure the weather has changed there, because you got pretty much the same weather that we have here down there, only you're down there.
It's never straight up and down. Yeah, it was the most interesting day, I gotta tell you. It was I've had days, I've had nights, I've had days that seemed like nights and nights that seemed like days. But today was a very interesting day.
Okay.
No, that's not a leader. That's not a, I'm kind of stupid that way. I shouldn't set myself up for a joke that doesn't have a punchline.
Well, you felt that you wanted to mention it, and now I feel that I'd like to hear about it.
You'll never believe what happens next.
An internet bus, yeah. The ZRF autogram has been relocated. Yes, K3 ZRF's main station console autogram that I shopped around and nobody else wanted. So you guys can come at me later with I wanted it, but it's been motivated to a new home and a grand, exalted, preservationist situation it could not have asked for better than what was given today. Other than that, I'm in denial.
The underground pipeline flight.
Heard you. Hey, yeah, I was listening while I was working on a Frankensteinian project in the dungeon. Yeah, I think you picked the right person for that to appreciate it. You probably wouldn't find anybody else that would really appreciate that. And next time I talk with Clark, if he's not too embarrassed to talk to me in public when people can hear, I'll give him my ZRF speech. Yeah, that's great.
Hey, you guys are awfully strong down in Georgia. Noticing this trend here. And I believe that I'll take this opportunity to say that AM Facebook sucks. This is W2BTK.
A minute.
Wait, that I have to change my antenna pattern. I don't want to know those crackers.
AM Facebook sucks a lot less than it used to.
How?
Can't say tribe.
I think they had a change in management. Yeah, Paul, man, you're strapping on that SDR. You're kicking my butt.
Good to hear you too, Sonny. Yes. This is my unintentional ham station. The K7DYY is my lofty goal. Lofty goal! And we were almost on with it tonight, but apparently there was high SWR somewhere, continuously, and it ticked me off to the point where I was ready to utilize percussive maintenance.
Billy?
What, a DYY that didn't like high SWR? Or are you talking about the signal strength in Georgia? Georgia.
I'm looking at the horse race. The horse race that's going on down there. That's funky. You believe that?
It's like some pretty hot streaks on the waterfall. Look at that. Yeah, I could see some modulation. I could probably hear myself in this dang thing.
Yeah, you just faded in.
You guys are flipping weird like cartouches and unintelligible hieroglyphics and whatnot. Yeah.
Is this thing working? Can you hear me down there?
Asterisk that says see below for stupid people. What the you're talking about?
Hi, Daryl.
It's
Hi there.
It's radio porn.
Oh, porn. Yeah. I've been there. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's, visual stimulation.
Now with girls, but go ahead. I mean, you got to make your choices along the way. It keeps traying off.
Now we're waterfall, which has nothing to do with stimulating any organs or anything, but we're just looking at remote receive signal strength, and I'm doubling with somebody.
You can see where somebody's goofing you up. Anyway, this is W2JTD, Cape May County, on the estuary, where it's a beautiful, beautiful evening.
W2VW.
RGW, the voice of New Hampshire.
W2BTK, and I heard Daryl in there as well. He's up on 75.
New Hampshire. Oh, I'd give my left something to live in New Hampshire.
Hey, Daryl.
Right.
Oh, we don't meet anymore.
We're down here, dear. We're not on channel 75. We got tired of lead ducks on that channel.
Yeah, he had to do that to me too. Slide down 5. We're on 70.
Or 4 or 5, whatever. You know, it's all good. Actually, we're not all on the same frequency.
I don't know if this thing working. I don't know if this thing working.
Fish all around. C2RGW.
It's working.
Piss off the liberals.
Okay, Dave, how you doing?
Zero B. I'm ticked.
Whoa, there's a lot of doubling going on. This is cool.
Yeah, straighten this out, Billy. Say hi to Daryl. You're doing fine, Daryl. Is that a gray transmitter?
Yeah, Daryl, go ahead.
Hello, Billy. How you doing? Hello, everybody out there who can hear this weak station.
What's the call of the weak station, Daryl?
It's the glass from the past, the weak station. KD2 AFL.
I've heard you on the air before. You sound like an interesting character. This is the first time I've encountered you. So, go ahead, interesting character.
Well, here it is, and here I am. None but all glass here.
Awesome. Nice to make your acquaintance.
From the military.
New Jersey. Running a IC718 tickler into an amp, into a doublet for 160 and hoping for the best.
W2BGK.
Well, okay, well, you sound good over here, Jersey side. All right, I'm just say hello and pleasure meeting you, and we will talk again. I'm just letting this old glass warm up. This is KD2 AFL station, Jersey station.
Yeah, Jersey where, man?
Is that the glass from the past?
Where are you, Daryl? What part of Jersey, if I may be so Jersey-esque?
We're in a little town called Irvington, right next to the big city of Newark. A little old town, Irvington.
I'm just trying to ask you a question. Is that steel that makes it real?
The home of medieval times.
Come on, tell me which way it is.
Hey, Louie's trying to get in there and ask you something, Daryl. He's jumping up and down. He's waving, he's waving 4 fingers and a thumb, jumping up and down.
If only I'd shut up. Listen,
I can't make out. I hear him in there, but I can't make out what he's saying. He's gonna have to do something. He's gonna have to do something, Billy. Can you help him out?
Give us some wind.
He's way out there in 9 land.
But if we quit talking, he could say something, for crap's sake.
If you would get on frequency, I could hear you.
I'm right on the frequency I'm talking on.
Damn, I just went over to my transmitter, and I was trying to get on frequency, and I hit something with my elbow in the rack, Billy. I hit it really hard. I don't know. Am I still on the air?
No.
Nah, it knocked you right off the air.
I don't even know anybody named Dave. You can scan my banks, man. There's a Dave non-existent particle. Except for that part about the top of the mark where you showed me where the airplane hit the building.
That was, that was a very, very unusual time because they were tearing that whole floor apart. And you could see stuff that happened to that building that had been covered up for years and years.
You're wrapped in barbed wire with me forever throughout eternity for that particular moment, particularly when I pushed my stepdaughter, out the window and said, how about some of this? She's still trying to inhale.
Yeah, it's amazing to be able to, be at 976 feet above ground level and open your window. Yeah. I introduced the people at 30 Rock to that, too. These guys were putting in like 300 feet of cable. They had to go down a hallway and out a door and back around to one of the outside veranda deals. And I'm like, there's a window here. Well, nobody ever opens that window. That window hasn't been open. Some old guy comes up to me. Oh, yeah, I've been here for 30 years. Nobody ever opens that window. I'm like, why does nobody open that window? Give me an X-Acto knife.
And he opened the window. and I'm the beneficiary, the benefacto, anyway, it all ran downhill, I'm supposing. Yeah. That gig you had there was bizarre, man. It was beyond awesome.
Yep.
Sentence that starts with nobody ever is pretty much a dare.
Yeah, that was good times, man. If you look up the most perfect suicide, there was a woman who jumped off of there in 1947 and landed on top of a limousine. And she looks like she's sleeping.
What I like was the tour, and I said, hey, Dave, look at this. This is XYZ, and you said, yeah, that really ticks me off. Ticks equals pisses. Next thing. Oh, look at this. How's that plugged in? That's another thing that ticks me off. We kind of went through the gauntlet, and everything ticked you off, because it was wired badly, and we could have done better.
Well, anyway, that was a lot of fun, and, nothing wrong with six figures.
The best wiring in that whole place was...
The fan, if you guys... The fan in the window with regard to the HVAC that didn't work, the potential there was negative awesome.
Everyone needs fans.
Is that Clark? The best wiring in that whole place, I was trying to say, was Dave had a TV on his desk, and the antenna that he was using for that TV and the coax that was jammed into the back of it, it was a serious antenna.
Clark landed safely.
You know, I got back before Perry did.
That whole airplane thing has got my wife in a you screwed her hair up worse than a beehive from the 80s, man. I'm in a conundrum.
Look, he's in a conundrum. Uh-oh, now what? You got to get your pilot's license?
Well, I got to buy a plane. It's like ham radio. You dial up HRL, you get a rig, right? All right, I'm working on my Nautis.
You could get Hal's plane from Long Island.
Oh my God.
Clark, that was the coolest thing I ever saw. That was the second coolest thing I ever saw. You know, Rangers out, autogram in. Man, we live in a good world.
2 Viking Rangers and a Johnson Matchbox and a bunch of other electronics flew down, and a Autogram 8-channel stereo airboard flew north. So yeah, it was a real freight kind of flying day today.
Yeah, and somebody from Greenwich CT introduced a couple of neighbors to each other that have worked each other and said, like, oh, you're a jerk, I don't want to talk to you. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, you're okay in real life. Well, that happened today, too.
See that?
All that happened today?
Could have happened yesterday, but that was cool, man. You know, Frank out of Elmer with his Innovonics broadcast, bass screw thing. Yes, indeed. It was really a good day. I woke up this morning and my first thought was, I just want coffee. And next thing I know, you're flying an airplane in to prolong an autogram. It's the best of 7 worlds and most. It's unicorns, and I don't give a damn. I hope you have fun with the board, Clark.
And I hope you had fun driving on a runway.
Good to hear, everybody. KC2RGW 730.
Good night, Chris. W2 very weak. Nice talking to you.
So,
see you later, Chris. Always a pleasure. W2 BTK.
Hey, Chris. Good catching up. Have a good night.
I'm exhausted, Clark. You ran me off. I'll catch you later, KC2RGW.
Hey, Clark, in real life, you look pretty good.
That wasn't me. I sent a surrogate.
No, I'm telling you, we we're radio people and we do a certain amount of research, but you're a lot better than your virtual homage.
That's right. This is why I believe that Hamfest should be banned. No one should see each other. Everyone has this image of what we all look like, what each other looks like, and you don't want to shatter that with reality.
And Paul has more hair than he sounds like on the air.
Much to the consternation of my wife that keeps handing me a razor blade and saying, "Hit the basement."
Nobody knows what I look like.
No, unless they have a Twitch account.
Well, yeah, if you're if you're old, you don't know what I look like.
You know, it turns out it doesn't matter what you look like. The connections are the matter. You can pop a rig in your Subaru and drive it up to Deerchester. You can run down to Gaithersburg, or you can hop in your GMC. I'm spending my parents' death money on a rig pickup truck and deliver an autogram to an airport that's picked up by a guy that owns an airplane, and I don't know, man, if it gets any better than this. The cherry on the top of my ice cream, I do not want to be artificially colored. W2JTD.
Did you get Clark's autograph?
No. Did I screw up? Is my insurance agent going to screw me?
Meaning it didn't happen.
What, did you guys all go to a ham fest or something?
Damn it. It was good meeting you.
Yes, there was a ham fest in South Jersey today.
On a runway, and the first thing the guy in the cart said is, "You're here at your own risk. Our insurance does not cover you."
Man, ham fest. Who goes to a ham fest?
I didn't worry about the insurance. I was worried that MMR was going to have a quality experience. He's the future, guys. Perry, he's our zygote.
Oh, jeez.
No, he really. Well, maybe.
A fake
I hope he
show.
is. Does he keep it a clean record? Do I have to look up Breitbart and see what he's doing wrong?
.com.
No. Stalker.com has like 10,000 photos of me. Pass.
Breitbart's the only place you can get the truth.
You want the truth? Go to CBS, for Christ's sake. What's wrong with you people? Balloons and latex and ham radio. We don't talk about these things. This is W2JTD. Hi, fine business.
CBS has got BS right in their call sign.
ABC.
Anything but Christian.
There's no more Jesus than a Santa Claus. There is no more. Oh, I'm arguing with all right, NBC.
Nobody cares.
But there is still no such thing as... All right, anyway, have fun in radio. Don't question these guys. They're all nuts. Wait, what was this thing? Maggie says, don't talk to Dave. What's this? Don't talk to Dave. Are you Dave?
Yeah.
Crap. I'm down one on the mag scale. Anyway, W2JTD. The weather today was nuts. It was boss cool. It was small. It was large. It had high clouds and bad temperatures that we liked, and we actually made an aircraft rendezvous, which is the first time it's ever happened in my life, and I'm sure it's the first time that's happened in 37 other people's
Yo,
lives,
Modex,
but,
man. Thanks for the resub, brother. I'm glad you're having fun here, man.
Tomorrow happy, but I won't, because tomorrow morning I want to wake up and make eggs.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and we got yelled at by air traffic control on the way down because we're flying into an area where they were doing parachute jumping. So we would have been there 10 minutes earlier if we didn't get the seaside tour of the Jersey Shore.
No, we're well versed in like hanging out at the airport and waiting for folks. We several of our friends are independent aviators, and we when they say 1 o'clock, that means like 1:30, but 1 o'clock just in case.
Maggie didn't say you can't talk to me. I don't believe that.
No, Maggie said specifically, talk to Dave. He's the one that's going to keep you from doing the thing.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't know about that if I'm qualified, but yeah, you know, you want to bounce something off of somebody, I'm here.
No, the thing, but she won't tell me what that is either. I thought you knew. Well, man, my connection's even less tenuous. What shall I do? Anyway, as Bert says, Bert W-A-T-J-Y-U says, we're all circling the drains, so best we A, pay attention, and B, be ready to move the stuff that looks ridiculous to the people that thinks that the ridiculous is the cumulus.
Yep. Well, I understand that. I know you're doing that. I should do that, but I just put a bunch of ridiculous together. It's stupid. I'd send you pictures so you could shake your head. You'd hurt your neck muscle shaking your head at this.
Do it anyway because it will help to re-engroove me into the tribe that I've only kind of skirted the perimeter off with glazes with my badly carved arrowheads, but I know I'm in armor, and if I can, like, maybe snatch onto the shadow of your Sunday school pin, I could hope for, what the hell, man? You're all going to be dead but me, and you're all going to be looking at me like I'm Tim, and I'm going to say, like, what? You want me to burp?
Screw it. You know what? Content trumps hardware every time. It's all about the content. So who cares? You didn't have a 2,000-pound transmitter. I don't care.
Well, that's good, because you don't care and I can't lift it. And I might have had it, but I might have given it away. That's the other thing about this hobby. I'm buying this stuff for crap all my life. And now I'm 67 and I'm thinking, like, well, who wants it? Oh, okay. How much do you want to pay for it? Oh, not that? All right. Here. And here's the instructions.
That's pretty much how it went.
Well, Clark, if you plug that board in, it, like, crabs your station out, you know. I think I'm clear on the insurance anomaly.
Wood with a Halon fire extinguisher sitting nearby, so I'm ready.
No, that thing's rock solid, man. I'm telling you. Just open it up, and where it says in magic marker, stick a heat sink on me. Stick that heat sink on it, and you'll be pooping in high cotton.
All right, so just a quick inside thing here. I don't understand the heatsink thing. I've never seen anything like that. There's no heatsink like that on the board that I've got. Where does that go?
I think it was ZRF put a shitty module. Put a
W2BTK.
It got warm, and his result was sticking he was a speaker man. He did speakers for Bose for years. He was the guy. And he had one of these pieces of crap out, and he stuck it on there, and it cooled things down and everything ran. He said, okay. So it's a get on with it. What do they call that? A JS?
That's not a JS.
Clear on where it goes, though, because all the heat generating stuff is mounted to heat sinks.
I label it. If you look on one of those little modules, it's going to say heat sink goes here. I would have done it in Lithuanian, but my grandmother didn't even know that.
Alrighty, I'll go check it out. Many thanks. And the documentation was a nice touch, too. Oh, so whose board was this? You said this was part of some infamous op?
Oh, less than that. Wait, way more than that. This was the board of K3 ZRF, Dave Wenger in Stevens, Pennsylvania. K3 ZRF. Need I, well, let's go for some co-commentary. Over to Dave, very weak. K3 ZRF. you can explain to Clark how Dave was pretty all right.
Yeah, Clark. So Dave was one of the guys that Timmy got on the air because he heard Dave on the air with W3DUQ. And Timmy was piss weak and yellowy. And those guys coached him a little bit, I think. He'll tell you about that. But I got to work with Dave in New York, and we worked with a bunch of young punks that thought they knew every freaking thing about audio and how to record people and how to set up bands on stage, how to wire this, how to phase this, how to lay this out, how to do this, that, and the other. And Dave never said a word. He never argued with those guys. He always just kind of smiled quietly to himself as they went on and on about crap like 6 DJ, 6 tube preamps, and Neumann microphones, and this is worth this, and this does that, and blah 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 blah. Right? Yeah. That's how it worked. He never said one word. The guy had like zero ego, and he knew so much crap. His own line of speakers, okay, with his name, Wanger speakers. There was monitor speakers. This guy was amazing. He was a sound guy for the Grateful Dead before Bob Heil was. And he knew people in the business, like Chicago came to play 30 Rock, the square there, and he's like, I'm going to go down and see some of those guys. And he took a walk down there on a Friday morning when Chicago was setting up and all, and he comes back, he goes, yeah, this guy's still a jerk. And he was really around the block. But no BS, zero BS. Just amazing.
He worked with Claire Brothers. He was on a Linda Ronstadt tour. She tried to bang him. He said no. At that point, I knew he was my brother.
Wow, and this was his board. All right, that puts things in perspective.
Now that's a legacy board, and that came from Paul Corson. Will know the origin, and I'm pretty sure he does. That board has a history, so it's not to be stripped and beaten lightly.
Well, it's going to be the benefactor of Parts from the Parts autogram, so it's going to be getting a complete makeover.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's all it's the spinning, twirl of DNA, and some of our Elmers are gone, but we become the Elmers, and then we crap out and they say, JTD was a wise guy, and he told me this, and it really set my life straight. Meanwhile, JTD is like thinking, do I kill myself now, or do I give more advice?
Hey, I'll catch you guys later. W2BTK.
Night, Billy.
You chicken, you're leaving early?
He's got to get up at like 4:30. Have a good week. Talk to you next time. It was fun. One day.
I get it. I get up early for years. Good luck, man. WTJT.
Have yourself a holly golly, Billy.
And nobody has ever showed up in front of me with an airplane. This is beyond the QSL. This is beyond an eyeball QSL.
Not working.
Actually, the plane has flown a Ranger.
All right, there we go. So, another fine stream in the books. Sunday. What do we do, like 2.5 hours or whatever? Not bad. I'm switching back to my old schedule. 4 10-hour days, man, Monday through Thursday. So, I think I'm going to start doing the Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night streaming schedule again, since I got 3 days off. So that'll be nice. I know I haven't been streaming a lot, but it's just prohibitive with the work schedule, man. I don't have enough free time, so gonna get some free time next week. Should be streaming more, and that'll be good. So thanks, guys, for hanging out with me, watching, doing ham radio. Thanks for the subs and all that stuff. Really appreciate it. Glad you guys enjoy the content. So with that, wow, I'm really overexposed, huh? About to shut off the stream, so it doesn't really matter. But oh God, that looks bad. Anyway, yeah, you guys are the best. I'll see you around. I'll be in the Discord if you need to get in touch with me. But other than that, we'll plan on seeing you guys Thursday night. So hope you all have a good week. I'm out of here, boys. We'll see you later. 7-3, everybody. Thanks for stopping by.